Huskar Stadium in Morgantown, West Virginia. We're ready for Big 12 football on Fox as Kansas comes in looking for their first win of the season against the Mountaineers of West Virginia. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson along with my partner Joel Klatt. And we are ready for big noon kickoff here on Fox. As for West Virginia, they're coming off a huge victory a couple of weeks ago at home against Baylor.
Really led by their run game. Letty Brown, you know, their defense obviously played great, but offensively they had to take care of business, and they did so on the ground. He was the workhorse, 27 carries, 93 yards, and 2 touchdowns in that game, and they've leaned on him throughout the season. 63 rushes, over 5 an attempt, and 4 touchdowns on the year, but defensively they've been great as well, led by Darius Stills. Darius Stills was the preseason Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, and he has played absolutely terrific so far this year. 2.5 sacks, 4.5 tackles for loss this season. And he's going to have his eyes all over the very dynamic running back for Kansas, Puka Williams. If they want to pull the upset today, Gus, they've got to get the ball to Puka Williams in creative ways during the course of this game. Throw it to him out of the backfield, toss it to him, because what's happened so far is not working. He's a dynamic player. They've got to get him touches early and often.
All right, terrific day for football in Morgantown. Nice and cool, 54 degrees and sunny. And this is a series that dates back all the way to 1941. West Virginia leads it 8-1, and they've won the last 6. However, last year in Lawrence, Kansas gave them a go. West Virginia escaped with a 29-24 win. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt with you as Kansas won the toss. The Jayhawks deferred, so West Virginia will receive the football to start this game. Back deep for West Virginia, Alex Sinkfield. So here we go. Jayhawks and Mountaineers from Morgantown. Ball takes a bounce and is picked up at the 10-yard line. And a very solid return for Winston Wright as he crosses the 30-yard line. So that'll bring on a young man that is having an up-and-down season in a sense, Jared Dagey.
Jared Dagey is a guy that they're looking for consistent play. Look for the common play to be made in a consistent basis. His completion percentage looks all right. The passing yards, yeah, that's fine. But he did make a few huge mistakes in their win against Baylor and really put them in a position where they had to lean on that run game. Look for them to try to get the ball down the field early in this game here today.
39 of 42, 211 yards passing, 2 picks and a touchdown. On first down, Dagey to throw it, hit as he throws. Big ball, and it is incomplete. T.J. Simmons, the intended receiver.
T.J. Simmons down the field. He's a transfer from Alabama. They went right down the field as they said they wanted to. That offensive line, a very talented freshman up front, Zach Frazier, keep your eye on him. And then there with the skill position players, it's Sinkfield and Brown get the bulk of the carries. Bryce Ford Wheaton, Gus, watch for him deep down the field today. They love him in those deep routes.
On second down to 10, and they try to get it outside. Letty Brown dragged down from behind by Marcus Harris.
And Marcus Harris is one of the very talented freshmen on this Kansas defense, and they're led up front by a couple of them. Marcus Harris, Dejon Terry, Caleb Sampson is also a quality player. He's a junior. Their best players are probably their linebackers. Drew Prox is a guy that is back in the after not playing in their last game. And then in the secondary, a couple of guys back, Ricky Thomas and Kyle Mayberry. They feel like they'll be able to defend the pass much better today.
Makes it third down and a long 15. Dagey over the middle, and it's caught and fumbled at the end of the catch. T.J. Simmons with the grab. Bryce Ford Wheaton trying to dig it out. Kansas says they have it, but was it a catch is the question.
The ball was batted up in the air.
And it's Kansas football.
Wow.
And that's the kind of break the Jayhawks need.
Absolutely. Flying around. Watch this. Simmons grabs it, and then he definitely tucks that away and starts making a football move. Then he is hit there in that back end. Looked like number 18.
Denzel Feaster.
Feaster with the big hit. That's what knocks the ball up in the air. Gus, it sure looked to me like he had enough time to make a football move, then started to make a football move right before Feaster contacted him. What a huge break for Kansas, flying around. Great contact there in the back end.
So the Jayhawks, if this stands, takes over inside West Virginia territory at the 41, maybe the 42-yard line.
I was certain that they would take another look at this, but Gus, remember, it's control, the process, the catch here. Here's what they're going to be reviewing. Control by T.J. Simmons. So after the ball is knocked up in the air, great play in order to catch it. Now he needs a body part down and an element of time and or a football act common to the game. And before Denzel Feaster came in with the big hit. So here's control, body part. Now he starts to turn and look, and he was putting his right arm out and trying to stiff arm Drew Prox, number 40. I gotta say, I think this is gonna stand.
And let's bring in our rules analyst, Dean Blandino. Dino, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Joel and explained perfectly. Control and then the element of time. He took a couple of steps. He turned. He actually put his other arm, his off arm out to brace for that contact. He has the ball long enough. To me, this has to stand as a catch and a fumble.
And Dean, just real quickly, because I think some people at home will also be talking about the fact that it looks like there was some helmet-to-helmet contact there and real speed. However, I don't think Simmons is going to get defenseless player protection here, will he?
Well, he still would get defenseless player protection. That would extend beyond just completing the catch. I just didn't see anything that would indicate targeting. I thought the hit was low, more to the shoulder, upper body than the head neck area.
Well, if this does stand, guys, it will be the very first takeaway of the season for the Kansas defense.
This Kansas team, they've struggled to start this year. As you know, 0-3, 0-2 in the Big 12 with losses to Coastal Carolina, 38-23, Baylor, 41-14, and Oklahoma State in their last game, 47-7.
And we are told that the review has moved towards the contact. So, Dean, exactly as we were talking about, they're trying to see whether that hit was up to a targeting area, and it doesn't look like that contact was high. It was below the head or neck area, so a great job there by Feaster. And then I guess the next part would be as if he was contacting with the crown, and I guess there would be some question based on these looks as far as contact with the crown from Feaster. Looks like he was shoulder to me, you know, and this is one of those bang plays, Gus. I really,
it looks like a shoulder to me too, partner.
And don't you, I mean, this point in the game, I want them to do everything necessary to keep Feaster in the game, right? He's not doing anything malicious, certainly. Let's hope he stays.
Two aspects on the play, there is no foul for targeting. The receiver does have firm possession of the ball. It is fumbled and recovered by Kansas. First down, Kansas.
So how about this? Kansas, huge turnover. First series of the game for West Virginia. And now they have the ball deep in Mountaineer territory.
That's exactly what they needed, and kudos to the replay official, Tim England. I thought he did all the elements of that replay really well. So Tim England with a nice start to this game, and now Kansas's offense in business. Got to capitalize on this mistake from West Virginia and get 6.
Miles Kendrick comes in at quarterback on first down and a flag.
Prior to snap, false start. Number 61, offense, 5-yard penalty. First down.
So Kendrick, he is the third Jayhawks quarterback to start a game this season, joining Thomas McVitie, who is also coming off of an injury, and Jalen Daniels,
the freshman who they're really excited about. But Kendrick starting his first game since 2017.
First down at 15, and they'll hand it off on first down, and it's Puka Williams. And Williams, not a lot of running room as you take a look at the KU offense.
This offensive line has struggled, Gus. They've struggled protecting the quarterback. They've struggled opening up running lanes up front, and that's why there's going to be a lot of onus on these skill position players. Andrew Parchment and Stephon Robinson, very good players. They're looking for them to have a big day.
On 2nd and 15, here's Kendrick on the quarterback run with running room, and he'll go out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. Sean Mahone there to chase him out of play.
Now a big 3rd down for this defense, really led by that defensive front 4. Watch for Akeem Mesidor. He's a freshman that they really like. And then the 2 Stills brothers. They are excellent players, led by Darius. At linebacker, Tony Fields is a transfer from Arizona. He's been excellent for the Mountaineers. And then in the back end, the 2 safeties, they've done a great job, Mahone and Adai. And they're looking for them to fly around today.
After the 9-yard gain, 3rd down and 6 for KU. Miles Kendrick from Morgan Hill, California. Short pass, near side, and it's caught. Robinson, and Stephon Robinson turns it up, picks up the 1st down, close to the 24-yard line of West Virginia.
And watch his move here, just a little wide receiver screen. This is going to pay huge dividends for Kendrick, who's just starting his first game since 2017. A nice move to the inside, and he just slips Tyke Smith and goes for the 1st down. A nice little play on the outside to Robinson.
That's a gain of 12. 1st down, Kansas. Opening drive. Can they pay the turnover off? Kendrick dancing in the pocket, dumps it down, and Robinson can't hold on. Well defended this time by this West Virginia team. Josh Crowder, Semedo.
Semedo was right there, and I think Kansas is actually glad that they didn't make that catch, because it would have been about a loss of 4. So it's better it's an incomplete pass, making this a 2nd and 10. They can't hold the ball long, because this offensive line's not going to hold up against one of the best pass rushes in all of the Big 12. They're going to have to get the ball out of the hands of Miles Kendrick as quickly as they possibly can.
Puka Williams, the pistol back. Kendrick drops it off near side. Parchment, who's a terrific receiver, gains 3 yards on the play, so that'll bring up a 4th down. Deshaun Miller, Alonzo Adai defensively for the Mountaineers.
Well, this has not been a place where Kansas has had a ton of success.
Excuse me, 3rd down and 9.
Again, if he's holding the football, look for Darius Stills to get loose. Stills is number 56.
Kendrick finds Williams in the flats, and he can't hold on to it. Incomplete.
Well, I like the play call. They're trying to get creative with Puka Williams and get him the ball out in space, while also minimizing the effect of the pass rush up front, so they don't block the Stills brothers. They try to get Williams the ball out there, and it's just not executed well, and they'll have to settle for a kicking opportunity. Try to kick it right into that All-State net.
So that brings on Jacob Borchilla, redshirt freshman from Westerville, Ohio. Got it up, and perfect. Kansas on the board. 41-yard field goal for Borchilla. And the Jayhawks pay off the turnover. Kansas taking a 3-0 lead over West Virginia. Welcome back to Morgantown. Kansas looking for their first win of the season, taking a 3-0 lead over the West Virginia Mountaineers. Winston Wright is the deep man for WVU. Tamer Allen will send it away. And this one will be brought out of the end zone. And it's Wright making a nice cut. He'll get out of bounds at the 20. So West Virginia, partner, turns it over on their first series. Let's see how they respond.
And that was not how they planned it. Now there is a flag on the field on this return, too. Looked like right when he made that first cut, there might have been like a block in the back right there.
Return, holding number 6, receiving team. Correction, illegal block in the back, number 6 of the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down, West Virginia.
And there it is, right in front of Wright as he's trying to make that cut. And X-ray low. guilty of that. And now West Virginia is going to be backed up in the shadow of their own goal line. This is not how they wanted it to start. And in particular for Jarret Doege, they're looking to get him some confidence. Felt like they could throw the ball well. But I think on this series, Gus, they might have to lean on that run game and get them going a little bit, calm everything down.
Jarret Doege, the Bowling Green transfer, started 17 games for Bowling Green. And Letty Brown running it on first down. He'll lean forward and get close to the 10.
Built for Success is presented by Rocket Mortgage. For the personalized playbook on home loans, Rocket can. And Built for Success is this running game of WVU. This West Virginia team has the hammer in Letty Brown and Alex Sinkfeld that's got the burst and the speed to hit the home run.
Doege under pressure over the middle. And not enough for the first down. O'Loughlin, the tight end, with the catch, and Drew Prox makes the tackle.
And how about this for an opportunity for Kansas? If they can force a kick here and establish quality field position for the second time for their offense, this would be a huge boost for Kansas and this defense, which has not played well, but it's got a lot of guys back after not playing in their last ball game.
Third down and 2 at the 14. They try to get outside, and Kansas was ready. DJ Simmons couldn't turn the corner. First man to him was Ricky Thomas, and West Virginia's going to have to punt it away again.
Great pursuit by this Kansas defense. Watch this defensive front. First of all, you got Caleb Sampson, number 98. Look at him on the outside, sets the edge perfectly, and he forces Brown way to the outside, and then the pursuit picks up. Ricky Thomas is right there, number 3, and then the cavalry arrives for a nice third down stop.
Letty Brown unable to pick up the first down. Kansas with another opportunity to get great field position. Kwame Lassiter is the deep man. He signals for the fair catch and has it at the West Virginia 45. So we'll take a break. Jayhawks up 3-zip with the football in good shape. Back lead over West Virginia on the road. Velton Gardner comes in now. First down and 10, and they'll hand it to Gardner. He tries to cut it back. It'll gain a couple as Chandler Semedo tackles him along with Jeffrey Pooler.
Got to get Kendrick calmed down into this ballgame. They've already tried to throw a couple of easy completions out to the outside, but he's going to have to complete something down the field here to get himself going.
On 2nd and 8, Kendrick steps up in the pocket. Nice throw. Oh, caught and touchdown. Andrew Parchment. Awareness. 99.
What a play from Parchment. Ball is a little underthrown on the outside as Parchment is working against Nick Troy Fortune on the outside, and Fortune has an interception. It's right in his hands, and it bounces out up in the air. Parchment takes it into the end zone, and now Kansas is a PAT away from their 10th point in this opening quarter. They've only scored 10 points in the first quarter all year. This is an incredible start for the Jayhawks.
Last year against West Virginia, Parchment 5 catches for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns, won a 75-yarder. He picks up a 43-yard touchdown from Kendrick right here. Kansas with a 10-0 lead. Here we go again, folks. College football on Fox. In for Les Miles, who's recovering from a positive COVID-19 test, and he has to like the way his team is starting on the road in Morgantown.
Hey, listen, when you make your debut as the Kansas interim head coach, acting head coach, this is exactly how you want it to start, in particular getting that defensive turnover turned into points.
Jayhawks send it away. Deep kick this time by Allen, and Winston Wright will take a knee for a touchback.
Well, Gus, this was the official quote from Les Miles. Yesterday I received clearance from Kansas health to travel with our football team, but out of an abundance of caution, he decided not to go with the team. So Joshua Ergel steps in as the acting head coach today. He thought I talked to him last night, Les thought it was really important that one of the coordinators did not also have the responsibility of being the acting head coach today. He didn't want someone that was in the fray of play calling to have to deal with the game management. So Josh Ergel, who's the tight end coach, steps in as the acting head coach. He's got defensive coordinator experience, offensive coordinator experience. He was with Les at LSU. Les trusts him, and he's put his Jayhawks in a good spot early.
On first down, this one off the mark for Sam James. And Joshua Ergel joined the Kansas program in 2019 after 3 seasons as the OC at Austin Peay. He does have head coaching experience. From 2013 to 15, he won 3 East Division titles at Texas Baptist in Marshall, Texas. Daggy underneath, that is caught. Big game coming up. This time it's Wheaton as he found the seam, but he'll walk off the field gingerly holding his wrist.
He went down to the turf hard, but you know, that left wrist is what he's holding. Let's hope he's okay, because the coaching staff told us that he is playing incredibly well. His production hasn't been there, but that's in large part due to some of the struggles on the offensive line and the quarterback. They were looking for Ford Wheaton to have a huge game today.
Sinkfield tries to break it back, but Kansas ready for it. Nicely done. Marcus Harris, the redshirt freshman from Montgomery, Alabama, Park Crossing High School, with the tackle.
Well, great play again, and this Kansas defense is playing physical. Let's go back to that last play. Bryce Ford Wheaton, let's take a look at what happened as he went down to the turf. You can kind of tell that that left hand went down first, and he came up immediately and grabbed it and ran over to the sideline. So we'll try to update you on his condition, as now West Virginia again, Gus, behind schedule.
Loss of 5 on the last play. Second down and 15 at the 33. Daggy play fake. In the pocket, survey, and he fires a strike to Sean Ryan, the junior from Brooklyn, New York. He has it at the 40. Drew Prox drops him.
Well, this Kansas defense is flying around right now, and even though West Virginia presents an easier third down opportunity, they've got to get pressure on Daggy on this down. Get somebody in his face. Look for Kansas to blitz here. They've got to get someone in Daggy's face, because Daggy has not shown the ability to stand in there and stay calm under pressure this season.
Another golden opportunity for the Jayhawks to get off the field. Third down and 7 from the 41. Mountaineers, Daggy over the middle, incomplete. Sam James drops the football, and West Virginia will have to punt it again.
Well, that's been the problem with Sam James. He's a very talented player. Came into this game with 17 catches on the year, including a touchdown, but the redshirt sophomore is a guy that has struggled with drops, and in particular, sometimes he makes the easy plays look hard and the hard plays look easy. That's not what you want if you're the head coach, Neil Brown. And another punt here for West Virginia.
Neil Brown in his second year, 40 years old, 7-8 overall at West Virginia. Colton McGee sends it away. Kwame Lassiter, the deep man, and he's got the fair catch at the 10-yard line. The last time Kansas won a Big 12 game on the road came back in 2008 at Iowa State, down 20-0 at halftime. The Jayhawks, led by Todd Ressing's 3 touchdown passes, proceeded to score 35 points in the second half, beating the Cyclones 35-33.
Well, that era of Kansas football was certainly, I would categorize as kind of the glory days. It's been 50 games since then, and you look at the longest active road losing streaks within conference play, and that tells you everything you need to know, folks. No one else has lost more than 12 in a row. Kansas is at 50. We're talking about Joe DiMaggio stuff right here. Like, no one's going to touch this streak, but it's the type of streak that you don't want.
First down and 10 at the 10-yard line, and it's Kendrick running it straight ahead, and he runs right into Akeem Mesidor, the true freshman who they're really high on. Had a sack last week. He's from Ottawa, Ontario.
Good length. He's athletic. He's got quality burst, Gus, and he loves the game. Loves the game. Is in there. Extra film work. Loves to practice.
Moved his position around a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah, he started in there in the interior. They've moved him out to the defensive end position in this 3-man defensive line.
On second down and 9, Luka Williams Kuka leans forward. Mesidor again defensively for WVU.
The biggest question I had coming into this game for Kansas offensively was how they were going to protect Miles Kendrick on third down. I think this is a third and obvious, 3rd and 5. Got to throw the football. We'll see if the pass rush can get close to Kendrick.
So 3rd down and 5 at the 15. Twins at the top of your screen. Kuka Williams in the backfield. Kendrick. Sideline, and it is incomplete. Ball intended for Parchment. And that brings up 4th down. Jayhawks will punt it away.
I think Parchment is signaling up kind of like, hey, I think I grabbed that, but I don't even know if he was at the chains. This is a poor throw from Miles Kendrick over there on the sideline. First of all, the route has got to get to the stick. Second of all, you got to frame him up. And when I say frame him up as a quarterback, that means put the ball on his frame, right in his chest.
Kyle Thompson will punt it away from his own 1-yard line. Sinkfield is the deep man. Sinkfield comes up to field it, has it at midfield, makes the first man miss, breaks it across the 30, inside the 30. Terrific run for Alec Sinkfield. And a flag on the play.
I love his elusiveness. He's got that wiggle. We'll see what this flag is all about.
As a matter of fact, Coach Neil Brown said, when I review the film, I say to myself, I need to get Alec more touches. His ability to win one-on-one battles in space is a difference maker.
You saw right there on that return. Very tough to bring down in the open field.
During the return, personal foul. Blocking out of bounds, return team. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
I know it's an early start for the Mountaineers, but they have come out looking awfully sluggish.
Yeah, and penalties have been a problem for them during the course of the season. You know, they've got the 3rd most penalties per game in all of college football right now at almost 11 per game. And it's right up there about 100 yards per game. So this has been an issue during the course of the year, and it's become an issue here, and a big reason why they're down 10-0, because the penalty on the previous return is what set Kansas up with the quality field position to go down and score.
So Daggy and the offense moved backwards. First down and 10 at the 40.
Some confusion right now with the spot.
First 3 possessions for West Virginia. Fumble, punt, punt.
And missed some easy ones. Drop pass, a fumble, obviously, and their quarterback, Jarrett Daggy, who they're looking to find some confidence today. He has not been sharp. A couple of underthrown passes. They have said and said they wanted to take shots down the field and get the ball downfield. With good field position here on this series, I would look for them to try to take a shot.
First down and 10 for West Virginia. Daggy hit as he throws. Ball bobbled and incomplete. Sam James, second time he's dropped one right in his hands.
And again, when it becomes a theme, that's when everyone knows that you struggle with drops. And Sam James is too talented to be in this category. They wanted to move him into the inside, into the slot, so that he could work some of these slant passes. But you see, just reached out, ball goes right off his hands. It's a good ball there from Daggy. It's got to be caught.
Second down and 10 at midfield. Daggy, the younger brother of Seth Daggy, all-star quarterback at Texas Tech, now an assistant coach at the University of Southern California. Here's a handoff. Sinkfield tries to turn the corner, and it'll be tackled, gobbled up from behind. Nicely done by Dejon Terry.
It's so interesting. The first conversation I had with the folks at Kansas this week, the first thing they said, I mean, very first thing, our young players are really good, they said. And what do you know? Marcus Harris has come out and played well early. Dejon Terry has come out and played well up front. Both of them redshirt freshmen. A guy is Stephen Parker, number 14. Keep your eye on him. They got a freshman at corner, number 9, Karan Prunty, who's going to play a huge part in this game. So those young players making plays here early.
3rd down and 8 at the 48 for West Virginia. Here's Dagey, lost one in the air and knocked away at the air, but a flag on the play. The ball intended for Sean Ryan. Prunty there along with Kyle Mayberry.
Pass interference, number 9. Defense, 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Boy, from the official's angle, it looks like he makes a bunch of contact, but I'm not sure that he did. I thought that was pretty incidental with the feet. That's a tough call if you're Karan Prunty, because there wasn't a lot of contact. You don't have to turn around to the football as long as you don't make contact. I thought he just kind of stepped on his foot. Probably incidental in my book.
Dagey, play fake, down the field, caught, touchdown! Bryce Ford Wheaton ran a great route, and Jared Dagey put the biscuit in the basket.
There's the shot I was talking about. I knew it would come on this series, and Bryce Ford Wheaton is a guy they were very high on. Watch his route at the top of the screen. He's just going to run a straight post, and he does a good job of just hesitating ever so slightly, and he gains the separation needed, and that's a beautiful throw from Jared Dagey, who had time in the pocket and delivers a nice post route for a touchdown.
6th touchdown pass of the season for Jared Dagey. Extra point up for Evan Staley and good. So West Virginia on the board now as Jared Dagey hits Bryce Ford Wheaton. 10-7 Kansas. Big Note Saturday is sponsored by Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville, and by Taco Bell. Bryce Ford Wheaton against Baylor in their last game, 3 catches for 28 yards and a touchdown. So back-to-back games for this young man as he scores to put West Virginia on the board.
Remember, he was holding his wrist on his first catch of the game and comes right back in. Thankfully for West Virginia, he's okay. And the coaches told us he's been winning down the field. And I said, so is he going to get a deep shot? And they said, 1st quarter, he's getting a deep shot. He got it, and he capitalized. Good ball from Dagey. But Bryce Ford Wheaton is clearly doing the stuff he needs to do. He's putting it on tape, Gus. And guess what that gets you? Opportunities from the coaching staff. And here he is with another touchdown.
West Virginia will send it away. Jamal Horn is the deep man for Kansas. And they'll start from the 6-yard line. Very good return, crossing the 30. And the tackle made by Nick Troy Fortune. Wildcat formation. Velton Gardner in. He'll run it straight ahead. And cross the line of scrimmage and pick up a couple of yards. Nick Troy Fortune with the tackle.
Something tells me at about 12:10 p.m. next week, he's going to be on my list.
That's right, because we're going to be in Columbus watching the Buckeyes and the Cornhuskers. 2nd down and 7. 36, Pooka Williams in the backfield. Play fake. Kendrick with all day to throw and intercepted. A dive. Gets to the 29. Alonzo Adai camped out and comes up with the pick.
Boy, I don't know what Miles Kendrick was looking at, because he's staring down his wide receiver over the middle. Kendrick makes the fake to Williams, and his head never moves and throws it right over the middle, and it looks like, it just drops back. Alonzo Adai drops back. Really good player for them. Hard-hitting safety, and he's in the right spot at the right time, and his cousin's got to be happy. His cousin, co-defensive coordinator for West Virginia, Jamal Adai. They said they are close like brothers. One's a coach, the other a player, and now he's got the hard hat on, the turnover hat for West Virginia with the interception here early.
First down and 10 at the 30 for the Mountaineers. Letty Brown in the backfield. Daggy looking. Daggy sideline throw. Back shoulder caught. And incomplete. Wheaton had it, just couldn't hold on. That ball raked right out of his hands by Elijah Jones.
Yeah, good play by Elijah Jones here. And they told us they were going to take their shots, and they are. They're trying to go back shoulder there. He got his hands on it, but Elijah Jones does a great job of fighting through the hands, producing an incompletion.
Second and 10. Under 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. And incomplete. As Daggy tried to gun that to Reese Smith, but great defense on that play for Kansas. Broken up by Ricky Thomas.
Ricky Thomas is one of those guys that did not play in their last game, along with Drew Prox, one of their best linebackers, a starting corner, Kyle Mayberry. And having these guys back on the field, they had the belief that they were going to play much more quality defense, and they have so far today.
Third down and 10 at the 30. Daggy. And Daggy is sacked. Great pressure. Drew Prox gets to him. A different looking Kansas team today.
They are, and on this outside, you're going to see Prox as well as Stephen Parker, the outside linebacker, a guy they really love, and they just overpower that side of the offensive line. He was working against Zach Frazier, number 54, and Frazier's one of the talented freshmen for this West Virginia team. Did not give up a sack in his high school career. They love him there, but he got absolutely bull rushed by the linebacker Drew Prox for a sack. Might as well just take the delay here, take the free 5 yards and make this an easier punt.
Delay game, offense, 5-yard penalty, still fourth down. That penalty is declined, still fourth down.
And a good decline there by Josh Ergel. Don't let him take those free 5 yards. Make him punt it from right there and increase your chances of getting a touchback. And Tyler Sumter do his best to pin the Jayhawks inside the 10 here.
Field position looks like it's going to be very important for these two teams in this game. As Sumter sends it away, Lassiter is the deep man. That's it, bounce over his head, and it's down at the 1-inch line. T.K. Williams on special teams downs the ball, and Kansas will be backed up deep in their own end.
What great execution right there. I tell you, that is impressive.
Don't forget, folks, you can find all of Joel's Breaking the Huddle content, including his weekly top 10 rankings, at foxsports.com, the Fox Sports app, and CFB on Fox social platforms.
Seems like every week we've got top 10 teams going down.
Puka Williams, the running back, with Kendrick, as Kansas will try to bring it out of their own end zone. Here's Puka Williams, and he'll give him a little bit of running room as he's brought down by Tony Fields. And you like Tony Fields, the Arizona transfer.
I like him a lot. He runs well. You can tell he's smart because he just got there in August. He missed the first 4 days of fall camp as a transfer from Arizona. After, you know, everything transpired, he says, I'm going to go, I'm going to leave, I'm going to try to play. This is before the Pac-12 decided they were going to play. And he comes into West Virginia, and he has done an excellent job. He's probably their best defender outside of Darius Stills.
Coming off a 10-tackle game against Baylor a couple of weeks ago, Puka Williams finally with some daylight as he gets to the 15, runs right into Alonzo Adai. Remember, Adai had the interception, and that's a first down for KU.
And one of the best runs that Williams has had so far today, maybe even all year.
And first down, Williams again spinning, breaking tackle. It's back to the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of room. Sean Mahone, the safety, defensively.
I feel bad for Puka Williams because, folks, he is He is a dynamic running back. He's one of the best running backs that Kansas has ever had in the history of their program. And the offensive line just does not give him the opportunity to be successful this year. He's run for a lot of yards. I know he's trying his best, but, man, there are a lot of unblocked players in his face when they hand him the ball.
2nd down and 9. They give it to him again, running near side, and nice move. He gets out of bounds in front of Drayshawn Miller. Now, there have been a couple of good running backs in the history of Kansas football.
That's why I said that, is because he's put up numbers that are right along with some of those absolute legends of the sport, not just college football, including the late and great Gale Sayers.
All right, who was the other great running back Hall of Famer?
Holding, number 16. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So who was the other great running back for Kansas, younger than me?
You tell me.
Come on, man. Riggo, John Riggins, former Jet, longtime Redskin.
John Riggins.
Remember?
Oh, man. It's so hard to think of John Riggins in anything other than a Redskins uniform.
That's right.
You know,
but he started with the Jets, yeah, with a mohawk back then. 2nd down and 9 at the 15.
Man, I hate it when you stop.
It doesn't happen too often, man. Hooker Williams in the backfield on 2nd and long. They run it around the corner, and West Virginia just ready for it. Tony Fields tracking his man.
Another flag.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, number 1. Defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic, 1st down.
Let's take a look here. I mean, it's a big penalty here. They're trying to just go outside with the sweep. That's not a horse collar. He's not up around the opening on top of the shoulder pad. Technically, in the rule book, the nameplate area is the verbiage, and I guess they could say that was the nameplate area. I thought he did everything he could to not grab the opening on top there, but letter of the law, and again, the language of the rule book strikes again.
So a 1st down for Kansas as we come to the closing moments of the 1st quarter. From the 25, Kendrick. That ball deflected at the line of scrimmage and incomplete.
He's lucky that didn't get picked off. Chandler Semedo was there, and when that ball goes up in the air like that, you just think to yourself that the defenders are going to have an opportunity to make a break. So I think Kendrick is fortunate there that that ball wasn't picked off.
2nd down and 10.
Boy, another pre-snap penalty here for Kansas.
False start, number 71. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's Jacoby Lott, the left guard.
Great pedigree, by the way. His uncle's Ronnie Lott. I'm sure Ronnie is watching. Speaking of Hall of Famer.
That's right.
The greatest safety potentially in the history of football.
That's right. Definitely one of them. 2nd and 15 at the 20. Play fake, Kendrick. Dancing, Kendrick's got to go, and he'll be tracked down from behind. This time it's Jeffrey Pooler. Remember, West Virginia recorded 6 sacks against Baylor 2 weeks ago.
And this is a Kansas team that gives up nearly 6 sacks a game with their offensive line. So not a good combination for Kansas. Is something that they were worried about, giving up pressure to this defensive line. And you got to credit the secondary on that one, Gus, because there was nowhere to go with the football for Miles Kendrick.
3rd down and 16 at the 19. And that'll take us to the end of the 1st quarter. A surprising 1st quarter. Kansas heads into the second with a 10-7 lead on the road in Morgantown. The business. Morgantown, West Virginia. We start the second quarter. Kansas with a 3-point lead.
Yeah, they did a great job. Their defense flew around early. This team comparison is sponsored by Credible.com. And I thought that the big point of that first quarter was Kansas didn't let West Virginia's run game get going, and they got great field position a couple of times and capitalized with points.
3rd and 16. Kendrick throws it out wide to Puka Williams, trying to make something happen after the catch. And West Virginia closes on him. Jeffrey Pooler makes the tackle. That'll force the Jayhawks to punt it away. I like Les Miles' philosophy. They're not going after junior college players like they used to at KU, and they're going to rely on recruiting high school kids to mature through the program.
And a lot of their best players are young players, you know, as we've talked about on that defensive side.
West Virginia almost getting to this punt. As it goes out of bounds around the 45-yard line, a flag on the play as Kyle Thompson looked like he was hit as that ball was kicked. Punters do a terrific job of winning Academy Awards.
Yes. Don't they?
To draw that,
don't they?
Penalty.
You know, the distinction will be here, you know, whether this is the 5 or 15-yard variety. It's not going to provide them a first down. Should just be a 5-yard because it looked like he just touched his kick leg, didn't take out the
running
plant
into the
leg.
kicker, number 17 of the kicking team, or the receiving team. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
You know, if you take out the plant leg, that's when they'll get you for the 15-yard variety. But you see right here, it's a very, just a little contact on that shin. Kicker goes down like he should. Listen, he should go down like that. But that's the correct call by the official, and we'll just repunt this thing.
Sam Brown, the freshman from Savannah, Georgia, running into Kyle Thompson. So Thompson will punt it again. On 4th and 4 this time.
Now you got to watch the ball. Either the hard cadence, don't jump offside, and then this is where I would watch for a little bit of a fake. Even with this field position, Kansas has nothing to lose.
He sends it away. Sinkfield fields it, makes the first man miss, tries to squeeze through a hole, but is driven down on special teams. Good special teams play by Kansas. Millions of kids nationwide are without their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play for kids and the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. Text PLAY to the number on your screen to help keep kids in the game. Right now, Kansas in this game, and Neil Brown knows it. 6th season overall. Neil Brown spent 4 seasons at Troy. Came to Morgantown, replacing Dana Holgerson. First down, Lenny Brown. Baddest man in Morgantown with a great run.
You're a poet, man. I don't even want to say anything after you give a call like that. I got to tell you, but that's a good physical run.
Got to give you some Jim Croce, 1974.
Right.
Here we go. And the handoff again, Brown. And a first down for the Mountaineers.
That's exactly what they needed on this series, is the calming effect of their big, powerful running back. And there's a Kansas player down. That looks like Kenny Logan, the safety, sophomore from St. Augustine, Florida. I mean, this guy runs tough. And Logan, whose brother played fullback at Florida, he's down. Let's hope he's okay. He got in the way of Letty Brown there and paid the price.
He had a career high 12 tackles against Oklahoma State. Off the field on his own. Looks like he's in pretty good shape right now, and they need him on this Kansas defense because the Jayhawks are playing some excellent football right now.
We've seen this time and time again. Timeout cannot save a player who has to come out of the game because he was down for an injury. So he's coming off the field. The officials will allow someone to come on the field, and Corian Harris will come out number 2.
First down and 10 for West Virginia.
False start, number 76. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, there was 3 objectives for this West Virginia offense today. Avoid pre-snap penalties, establish confidence in the passing game, and take some shots downfield. There's a pre-snap penalty. I don't feel like they've gotten very confident because some of the drops that they've had in the passing game, but they did take the shot down the field. So 1 of 3 so far for the Mountaineers offense.
First down and 15 at the 40 for Jared Dagey. And the Mountaineer offense, Letty Brown gets down the field and out of bounds at the 40. Gavin Potter there to chase him out of bounds, but Letty Brown looks like he's got a great burst today.
Yeah, and he's got a little bit of flow going as well. Nice hole opened up on this left side of that offensive line, and then right there, boom, stiff arm from Letty Brown. He's a powerful back, but he's also got some good speed. He's not huge. He's 5'11", about 210 pounds, but runs very physical.
On first down, over the middle, incomplete. Bryce Ford-Wheaton got 2 hands on it, just couldn't bring it in.
That's such a difficult catch, though, because he's got to extend there as he's going up over the middle. Would have been a great catch. When you've got an in-breaking route like that, in particular in the short zones as a quarterback, you've got to put that ball on the wide receiver's frame. Don't make him reach for it.
Alex Sinkfield comes in at running back for the Mountaineers. Here's the pitch. Sinkfield wants to throw it. Oh, it doesn't fool anybody. Kansas right there. How about these Jayhawks today? Drew Prox. And right now, a little trash talking going on from Kansas.
Feeling themselves, and they should. Drew Prox does a great job of reading this out. He's going to attack, but down the field, as Sinkfield looked to throw it, there was nobody out there. It looked like he wanted to throw it, but everyone was blocking. So kind of a broken play there for West Virginia as they're trying to toss it outside.
Makes it third down and 13 at the 42. Here's a screen. Sinkfield looking for the first down. Got a seam, got a first, and out of bounds. That's a 25. Well-designed play. Ricky Thomas runs him out of bounds. But a first down for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, great job by that left side of the offensive line. Watch Brandon Yates 50, Zach Frazier number 54 as they release down the field and get the key block. There's 50, Brandon Yates. That's a good block. And then on the outside, Frazier just gets enough, knocking his own wide receiver down as well for a big game.
Gain of 16, first and 10 at the Kansas 26. Letty Brown. He'll cross the line of scrimmage, gain a yard, yard and a half. Maybe on the play, Sam Burt, the junior from Abilene, Kansas. 6'4", 300 in the middle.
Offense is about discipline, execution, details, all that, but Gus, it's also about rhythm, and you get the sense that Letty Brown establishes a rhythm for this Mountaineer offense.
Second down and 9 to the 25. Delayed handoff, Letty with space, spins. Flag on the play, though, as he gets inside the 20. Davon Ferguson defensively for Kansas.
Holding, number 85. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's the backup tight end, T.J. Banks.
Yeah, here he is, right in the middle of your screen.
So your hands can never get outside of the defender, Joel?
Well, I mean, they can. You just can't grab. I mean, if you see that jersey stretch like that as the defender's trying to go and make the play, the flag's going to come out all the time. They tell you to keep your hands inside, but listen, you can hold on the inside just as easily as hands on the outside. I think it's more about the grab and, in particular, the stretch of the jersey. That's when you'll see the flag out immediately.
So the holding penalty makes it a second down and 19 at the 35. Kansas has been bend but don't break so far in the first half. Dagey bounces. Dagey turns it up. Dagey slides down at the 25-yard line. Right in front of Stephen Parker.
A good decision there from Daggy not to force the ball down the field. Second and forever. Now produces a third down that's a lot more manageable for this West Virginia offense. And Neil Brown, remember now, this is a team that loves to go for it on fourth down. So it may be 4-down territory here for Neil Brown, depending on how much they can gain here on third.
After the 8-yard gain, 3rd and 11. Daggy in trouble. And that ball is incomplete. Bryce Ford-Wheat couldn't get a foot in bounds, and that'll bring up a 4th and long.
Yeah, and it was close there. Daggy was getting the pressure, and I don't think his foot was down once he gained control. After he gained control, that foot was up, and they'll have to settle for a field goal opportunity here and try to kick it into that good hands net by Allstate. Always wonder if they can get it right in the circle, right? Like in the hands.
So Evan Staley, it would be nice in to attempt a 44-yarder, his career long 49 yards, and he missed it. So West Virginia comes up empty. Huge victory for Kansas.
No doubt about it. That defense, like you said, a little bend, don't break. Good tackling. A little fortunate with the drop there on the outside and a missed field goal. Jayhawks love it.
10-7. Joel, do you have a hat like that?
No, but I sent you one.
That's right. That's right. I got it in the mail with my Hollywood Brown jersey. 1st and 10 at the 27. Not. Here's a handoff. Gardner. And he is lucky to get to the line of scrimmage. One of the Stills brothers along with Smith there. Tyke Smith, the sophomore from Philly, who they really think is just has the potential to be a great, not only player, but young man.
Yeah, and as a kind of that spear player that he plays that position, his best asset is that he's highly intelligent, high football IQ.
2nd down and 10. And look at the big run for Gardner. Still moving, and he'll cross midfield and get inside West Virginia territory, but there is a flag on the play.
That was easily the best lane that the offensive line had provided all day for the run game.
There is no foul for holding on the play. 1st down.
And we'll see how they're able to do it. First of all, West Virginia just gets caught right there in a little bit of a stunt. So they're trying to rotate Darius Stills out to the left side, and he vacated a gap. And Gus, when that happens, boom, it opens up wide open, and Velton Gardner was right there to take it for a big gain for Kansas and to change the field position now again in plus territory across the 50 for the Jayhawk offense.
A gain of 26 yards. 1st down at the 47 for KU. Gardner. And this time he'll be tackled for a loss. Darius Stills, whose dad Gary was a terrific player for Don Neyland in Morgantown and a longtime NFLer.
And Darius has such a bright future. They can play him at the nose tackle, which means he's on the center, the 0 technique, head up on the center. They also will play him at the 3 technique, which means he's on the outside shoulder of the guard of the offensive line. He does a great job of playing both of those positions. Right now, he's going to be right there on the center.
2nd down and 11. And Gardner, no room on that left side, as Akeem Mesidor makes the tackle. Look at Gary Stills when he was here in West Virginia from 96 to 98. I remember calling his game. Gardner, what a wonderful defender.
Well, both of his sons are so good, and Darius specifically comes back for his senior year, came back, could have gone to the NFL. Did not opt out, chose to be here, wants to dominate, and has for large sections of this season.
Father went on to play 9 years in the NFL for the Chiefs, Ravens, and Rams. Kendrick. And it's a catch by T.K. Williams. But he is brought down immediately by that West Virginia secondary. Fields and Chandler Semedo combining on the tackles.
Yeah, good tackle there, and a nice hold from West Virginia's defense, but I got to tell you, they're helped out there by really basic play calling from Kansas, right? They get the big run from Belton Gardner. They get the ball in plus territory, and then it's just two nondescript handoffs. Throw the ball out into the flat. Seems very safe there.
Kyle Thompson punting. Alex Sinkfield is the deep man, and he signals for the fair catch and has it around the 10. Field position, very important. Kansas will pin West Virginia around their 10-yard line. KU with a 3-point advantage. Rob Stone back this week after taking the week off to go to Cabo and celebrate. It's what happens when you're a superstar. And Daggy over the middle, deflected, incomplete. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, he was on that Nick Saban.
That's right.
Positive, negative, 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 and I'm back.
I'm back. Nick Saban will be coaching the Georgia game this week after testing negative on his last 3 COVID-19 examinations. 2nd down and 10 at the 9. Letty Brown, watch out. Hopping, skipping. And he'll get to the 25, but a flag on the play.
That came in pretty late. I wonder if they are thinking about putting on a targeting here.
And Logan is down once again for Kansas.
He was the man trying to
foul, targeting number 18, defense. Previous play is under further review.
Denzel Feaster dodged a bullet earlier on the first turnover of the game, and this time he will be sent off the field.
There's Logan. You see that contact late. When I saw the flag, there's Logan tries to make that, and then here's Feaster, and he goes in. And Gus, this is absolutely going to get upheld. Even with the change of strike zone from Brown, he's clearly going down, but it's the fact that Feaster uses the crown, anything that is the top of the helmet, in order to initiate contact. I feel like this will be letter of the law here. This might spell the end of Feaster's day. Dean Blandino is with us. Dean, what are you seeing here? I see a kind of lead with the crown.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. The runner is not defenseless, so it has to be crown. And what I'm looking for is does the defender lower his head and attack with the crown of the helmet? And if there's any doubt in the replay official's mind, then they have to overturn it. I'm not sure if we actually have crown, or do we have more shoulder or maybe side of the helmet. It's very close. Yeah,
it is. And you bring up a great point with any indecision with the replay officials.
It seemed like it was such a graze.
Yeah.
And the left shoulder was in there too.
I'd be surprised if they don't uphold this.
After reviewing the play, the ruling of targeting is confirmed. Number 18 is disqualified. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced at the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
I get that it's close, but in particular that form of targeting, when you're talking about leading with the crown, and now Feaster, who is a heck of a player. He's a senior. He's a physical player. He's a good leader for this team from Austin, Texas. He's played a lot of football. He's in the 6th year of his eligibility. Didn't play last year, but he has been pretty good this year. 15 tackles. 1.5 tackles for loss, and now this linebacker core gets a little more thin.
First down for West Virginia. Letty Brown with space again. Look at the chopping of the feet and a first down. Nick Channel, the walk-on sophomore who had 8 tackles a couple of weeks ago, with the stop.
And when the opposition gets a little thin at linebacker, you know what I would do? Hammer them with the run game. And Letty Brown has already established that. Last series, they were 6 for 51 yards on the ground. Go right back to number 4 and really test the middle of that Kansas defense.
9 carries, 68 yards for Brown already. And Diggy winds up for the deep one. And it is incomplete, but a flag on the play. Intended for Ali Jennings.
Pass interference, number 4. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Elijah Jones.
And Jones kind of bails West Virginia out here because this ball was thrown basically out of bounds. Really poor throw from Jarrett Doege, but all that contact down the field from Elijah Jones draws the flag. Pretty clear interference there, and now West Virginia is in business.
First down at the Kansas 34 for the Mountaineers. Doege out wide this time, and Jennings dropped immediately by Elijah Jones. Good open field tackle for the senior.
How many times do we see, Gus, when we're doing these games, the corner run up and then stop and wait for the wide receiver to make a move, and they always get beat. But right there, Jones does the opposite. He attacked, and he attacked the legs, and he gets Jennings down to the ground. That's an excellent play by Elijah Jones, the senior from Cape Coral, Florida.
Second down and 11 at the 35. Lenny Brown. And another nice tackle by this Kansas defense. Kenny Logan. Now, when I played football a long time ago, they always wanted you to break down.
Not anymore.
Has that changed, Joel?
It has changed. This rugby-style tackling where you're trying to wrap and roll. That's a great look at it right there. You attack the hip of the ball carrier, and then you wrap up their legs, and you try to roll. It's the rugby-style tackle that has really been prominent in the last couple of years.
Third down and 8. Brown stutters up through the hole. He picks up the first down as he stumbles forward close to the Kansas 15. Elijah Jones upended him.
Nice job by this right side of the offensive line there. Michael Brown, number 57. 79, John Hughes getting it done.
False start, number 79. Offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
There's another one of those pre-snap penalties. It's something that has really hampered West Virginia during the course of this season. It's been a major focus of them after their off week. They wanted to eliminate those pre-snap penalties. We've already seen a couple, but they have gotten that run game going.
And what is that, organization?
Well, personally, I think sometimes teams just try to go too fast, and the offensive linemen just aren't quite set, and there's some flinching going on.
First and 15. Brown will gain a yard, maybe a little more, as Davon Ferguson drops him.
Well, this is a good opportunity, right? I mean, Kansas gets them behind the chains here. It's a great opportunity for Kansas to try to force a kick.
Second and 14. They throw it to Brown in the flats. Brown with a hole. Brown with a move. And he picks up another first down. Nick Channel brings him down, but Lenny Brown starting to do it with his legs and as a receiver.
Showing that versatility. We've seen him run physically between the tackles, and now just on that little swing screen on the outside as Davon Ferguson is down, the safety, number 7 for Kansas. Here's the little swing screen designed. You see the offensive line out in front. Good block by the left tackle, Brandon Yates. But Lenny Brown shows you that he can be elusive on the outside, show the soft hands, and get the ball down the field. And again, I love his physical nature at the first point of contact, because he never goes down at first contact. He's always moving forward, and that's exactly the trait that you love in a running back. If you block it for 3, he should gain 5. If you block it for 5, he should gain 10. Always leaning forward to the 2-3 extra yards, and if you give it to him 20 or 25 times, all of a sudden you look up, that's 75 extra yards of offense just because of the mentality of the running back, and that's certainly what Lenny Brown provides for this West Virginia team.
Picked up 14 on that play, and Brown with 2 100-yard rushing games this season against Eastern Kentucky, and then 104 against Oklahoma State. Second and 14. Excuse me, first and goal. They pitch it. Brown near side. And Brown gained a yard on the play. Kyron Johnson, Ricky Thomas knock him out of bounds.
Let's get the sense down here. I don't know if they'll be able to just straight run this football into the end zone, so it might come down to Dagey having to make a play, maybe even get out on the move outside of the pocket.
Second and goal. Dagey, straight drop, lobs it. Brown, touchdown. What can Brown do for you? He'll give you 6. And West Virginia takes the lead.
Kansas got caught in the blitz, and Dagey recognized it right away. He gets a blitz off this side, and then he's just going to lob it right over. There's the blitz, no man's land for Kansas, and Brown is wide open. Good drive there from West Virginia. An extra point. Now they've got to hit the hands, right? In the All-State good hands net. Got to hit the hands.
And they did. West Virginia finds Letty Brown wide open, and the Mountaineers take a 14-10 lead over Kansas. (14-10). Letty Brown. So far on the day for this young man, 88 yards rushing in the first half, 20 receiving yards for a total of 108 and a touchdown.
They were down 10-0 in the first quarter at -8 yards rushing. Who calmed everything down?
Letty Brown.
Letty Brown.
Baddest man in
The whole
Morgantown.
I was going with the whole damn.
So let's see how Kansas responds with 3 minutes and 25 seconds remaining as Horn returns it for the Jayhawks. Today on FS1, the Braves are just 1 win away from clinching their first pennant in over 20 years. While the Dodgers look to continue a furious comeback to keep their playoff hopes alive. Game 6 of the NLCS coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Good comeback by the Dodgers last night. Looked like they were down and out. Offense came alive in that 6th inning. I love late postseason baseball.
It is exciting. Kansas throws it on first down. Parchment. They'll get out of bounds. It's an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2.
See, here's a great example. Just trying to go way too fast. There's no reason to do that. Take the extra beat. Make sure your team is set. Kansas is not built to make first downs out of long yardage situations. And so when you do this to yourself.
Snap infraction, number 58. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Self-inflicted wounds.
You can play with great tempo and fast tempo and be under control. That's the key, right? You want to be fast and under control. The case there.
Just seems like everybody, because of all the restrictions for practice time, because of COVID, especially offensive lines around the country, are just out of sync.
Yeah. The refs also, by the way, they didn't have a preseason either.
2nd down and 6. Kendrick. Intercepted. What a play by Darius Stills. He just leaped, laid out, all 282 pounds, and comes up with the interception. The big fella's got stickum on his hands.
Ineligible player downfield, number 71. Offense, that penalties decline. Result of plays and interception. 1st down, West Virginia.
Oh, I love it. He was fully extended. Darius Stills shows you the athleticism. There's the ball batted up into the air by Tyke Smith, and Stills full extension.
But will it stand is the question. It looked like it may have been a little loose at the bottom.
Don't take it from him, Gus. Don't take it from him. He's got the miner's hat on. He's ready to go.
With the light on top.
interception is under further review.
I mean, I hear you. I see what you see there, and we'll see if he's able to maintain control as he's going to the ground. But, man, I mean, the athleticism from Darius Stills laying out, and he's got a little bit of a cast on that right hand. Let's see if he can secure it. Does he secure the ball? Tough to tell right there. Remember, the ball can touch the ground. It's not about the ball touching the ground or not. It's whether you secure the ball and control the ball first, and then it can touch the ground and you maintain that control. I don't think there's anything there that would lead me to believe that they would overturn it.
And our Dean Blandino is with us. Dean.
Yeah, we're looking at control. Looks like the hands are underneath, and then we're going to lose sight of the football. I haven't seen anything that shows the ball clearly on the ground. And when a big man makes a play like that, we got to give it to him.
That's right. I mean, listen, Dean, you bring up a great point. I know Tim England, our replay official, he's not supposed to take things into consideration like that. But my man was full extension, and he's 290 pounds. Like, let the man eat. Here we go.
And you know he's going to go back to the sideline and tell all of his partners, you know I could have been a tight end.
That's right.
I should have been a tight end.
Every defensive lineman in the history of football thinks they could have been a tight end. It's just the nature of things. What a play.
What a play.
I get excited watching great players like that.
Darius Stills was named the Generic National Player of the Week for his game against Baylor. 4 tackles, 3.5 for loss, 2.5 sacks. Ranked
After
6th.
reviewing the play, ruling on the field stands as called. First down, West Virginia.
So it'll stand.
What a play from Darius Stills. Yeah, get the Miners hat back on. It's not going to fit over the helmet, but that's all right, man. You earned it. First career INT for Darius Stills, and it came in just incredible fashion. What an athletic play.
So let's see if Jarrett Dagey and the offense can pay it off as they start from the 34. Sinkfield runs right into Davon Ferguson.
This is where, if you're West Virginia, you're not trying to get into kind of a milk the clock mode, but you would sure love to put this into the end zone, go up 21-10, and go in at half.
Dagey rolling out, throws on the run, incomplete. That one thrown a tad wide for Sean Ryan.
So, Gus, when I said make the common play consistently, that's the example right there. It's wide open. It's just a simple little rollout to the right. That's a ball Jarrett Dagey has got to complete. And I'm not talking about sometimes or most of the time. Every single time. The wide receiver is wide open. It should be second and short right now.
3rd down and 8 at the 32. Sinkfield. And he's dragged down from behind. Great tackle by Davon Ferguson, the safety. Junior from Baltimore, Maryland.
Good speed by Ferguson to close and bring down Sinkfield from behind. And now West Virginia will have a decision to make, and I wouldn't be surprised if they keep their offense on the field here. Neil Brown is an aggressive coach. He deals heavily in the analytics. The percentage wouldn't be great at 4th and 6, but inside of 2 minutes with the type of play that they've gotten here in the second quarter, you see he wants to so bad. He wants to go for this. He's going to let this bleed all the way down and take a timeout and think about it.
So we'll step away for 30 seconds. West Virginia calls timeout.
This will be a 1-minute timeout.
All right, Rob Stone and the boys, Brady Quinn, Reggie Bush, Matt Leitert, and Coach are standing by for the State Farm halftime show.
And these are the decisions Coach used to have to make of whether to go for it or kick it. The reason I think he's going to go for it is that their kicker, Evan Staley, he has really struggled from beyond 40 yards in his career. He's only 57%, 12 of 21. And he's only attempted 2 field goals from beyond 50 yards, which this would be just a hair short of 50 yards. Both of those were misses. So the percentages here for Neil Brown says go for it on 4th down.
So they bring the offense back on the field. Alex Sinkfield Lines up right next to Jared Dagey. 4th down and 6. Dagey looking. Dagey over the middle. Complete, but a flag.
This is
Sean Ryan, the receiver. Elijah Jones covering.
I thought that the offense was moving all over the place.
Offense. That penalties decline. 1st down, Kansas.
So they came out and they tried to draw him offside, which I don't know what that gets you except a closer field goal attempt maybe, because it wouldn't have given them a 1st down. But then they changed the play, and as the wide receivers are moving to their new position, Dagey calls for the snap. That's just a total error from the quarterback. Jared Dagey has got to wait until his guys get set before he calls for that snap. Neil Brown is furious with the officials, but he should be upset with his quarterback. On 2nd down, he missed an easy completion, and then there, just an operations error while trying to operate that change of play on 4th down.
So West Virginia turns it over on downs with 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining in the 1st half. Kansas down by 4. They swing it out quickly to Parchment, and he is tackled for a loss by Sean Mahone.
Kansas has called their first timeout. 30 seconds in length.
And Kansas calls timeout, their first. 1:25 to go 1st half. Back to Morgantown after this.
The hand shown by Darius Stills getting the Miners hat. It was the protection of the Kansas defense. Getting off the field on 4th down. Doing a great job batting that ball away.
2nd down and 11 from the 29, and that one thrown high and incomplete.
I was really interested to see what Kansas was going to do here inside of 2 minutes. They had 3 timeouts left. They took a timeout really quickly. Then they just try to throw, and now it's incomplete. Now it's 3rd and 11. They've been terrible on 3rd down. That initial timeout, essentially, all it does is protect West Virginia's timeout and gives West Virginia a chance to get the ball back with enough time to score.
3rd and 11. They drop it off to Puka Williams. Looking for space. Not a lot. First man to him, Sean Mahone. And Kansas will punt.
And West Virginia takes the timeout. So, Gus, this is what I'm talking about. And this is where, remember, Josh Ergel is handling this game operation for the first time for Kansas. Les Miles not there. He takes the timeout. That saved the West Virginia timeout, and their offense is going to get a shot here late with 1:15.
Down and 6 for Kansas as they punt it away. Kyle Thompson from the 19. Alec Sinkfield returning from the 27, and they jump on him quickly and down him at the 32.
Well, I touched on it there right before the break, but I think that was a mistake from Kansas on that last possession. Josh Ergel, who's handling the game operations because Les Miles is not here in Morgantown, called a timeout after 1st down on a running clock. And then immediately that's going to allow West Virginia the opportunity to get the ball back and save a timeout, because now West Virginia doesn't have to call the timeouts in order to stop the clock to save it. And now they're out here with just over a minute and a timeout left. Excuse me.
1st down to the 31. Dagey in the flats, and Drew Prox just blasts the receiver out of bounds. He's had a fine 1st half.
They're calling this a catch, which is going to hurt West Virginia because it's going to back it up actually about 4 yards. Prox right in the face of Letty Brown as he caught that ball.
Letty Brown remains in the game. 2nd and 14. Dagey's got to air it out now. Dagey underneath. Nice throw. Great catch. Sean Ryan still running, and he'll get to midfield. Clock stops to move the chains. 49 seconds.
Boy, that was a dangerous throw from Dagey, kind of across his body, but it pays off huge.
23-yard gain. Dagey now near side. And Ford Wheaton gets out of play and stops the clock at 42 seconds.
And if Kansas is going to give them that easy throw, in particular into the short side of the field, they got to take it every single time. Those corners on that side have got to come up in bump coverage to take away the easy throw.
Evan Staley getting warm on the West Virginia sideline. 2nd and 2. Mountaineers have 1 timeout remaining. Dagey checks it down again. Letty Brown. And out of the backfield, he'll dive forward and get close to the 30.
There is a flag down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 37. Defense, low hit to the passer. That 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run and an automatic first down.
That's Hayden Hatcher, Jr.
You get that low protection if you're in that throwing posture and he goes down low under the belt because he's in that passing posture. And there's also a player down the field. That's the true freshman, Karan Prunty, number 9, the starting corner. They love him. You know, that call on the low hit really should force him to be lower than that. It's supposed to be protection of the knee. It's not really
the thigh,
the belt or the thigh. That's correct. And so a generous call there for West Virginia's side on the roughing the passer. And what that does, Gus, is it makes this such an easier drive and field goal range for Evan Staley. I talked about on the last series how much he struggled from outside of 40 yards. Inside of 40, he's 88%. And now they're inside that 40-yard mark.
First down at the 16 for West Virginia. Dagey under pressure over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Ford Wheaton.
Intended for Bryce Ford Wheaton.
Good pressure right up the middle, and it's going to force Dagey to get rid of the football just a hair before he wants to. It's a pretty good ball. It looks like Ford Wheaton just needs to get his head around a bit quicker, and he might have had a completion there.
Gavin Potter with pressure on Dagey. 2nd and 10 at the 16. Dagey lofts up the fade in the corner and incomplete. Sam James, that's his 3rd drop of the first half.
This was a good throw. Some hand fighting going on, but that hits him right in the hands. That is a beautiful throw, outside shoulder, and a ball that's got to be caught.
Deuce Mayberry all over him. James has had his struggles in this first half. 3rd and 10 at the 16. Dagey moving around, flag on the play, and incomplete. Ali Jennings, the intended receiver, but there is a flag in the West Virginia backfield.
Yeah, it looked like a holding there in the backfield, probably against Letty Brown.
Holding, number 4. Offense, that penalty's declined. 4th down.
What a great hold from Kansas, and we've seen this a couple of different times now. Here's Letty Brown. He's going to slide over and try to pick up the blitz, and he just gets a quick hold right there, throws his hands up as Drew Prox was on the pressure for Kansas, and now it'll be Staley for a field goal attempt.
So Staley in to attempt a 33-yarder. He already has missed one from 44 yards away. And it's good. 17 to 10. 16 seconds remaining in the first half. West Virginia. Kansas, after getting off to a 10-0 lead, West Virginia scored 17 unanswered points.
Got to credit their running back, Letty Brown. He settled everything down, got him going. He has over 100 yards now of total yards in the game. But it's really been a couple of missed chances, quality drives that went down into scoring territory, and West Virginia was only able to get a field goal out of a couple of those series. It could be a much bigger lead right now. Credit the Kansas defense for keeping them in it.
Casey Legg kicking it off. Jamal Horn is a deep man. They kick this one short. And Kansas will start from their 30 with 10 seconds to go.
I think because of some of those positives on defense, just come out and take a knee. I don't even think I would hand the football off and do anything, because you just never know, right? You don't want to put the ball in harm's way. Just come take a knee going at half. Kansas has played pretty well, in particular on the defensive side. They've done a nice job, like I said, in the scoring area, holding West Virginia to a couple of field goal chances.
Remember, Kansas gets the ball to start the second half. They'll go conservative with Puka. He runs around in the backfield. And will not get back to the line of scrimmage, but that should take us to the end of the first half. Jeffrey Fuller with the tackle. 17-10, our score at halftime. West Virginia leading Kansas. Time now for Rob Stone and the guys with the State Farm halftime show.
All right, Gus, thank you. Yeah.
Big Noon Saturday is sponsored by AT&T Business, Morgantown, West Virginia. We're ready to start the second half. Mountaineers with a 7-point lead over the Kansas Jayhawks. Gus Johnson along with Joel Klatt, and Kansas will get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, and they're going to have to overcome what was a very successful second quarter for Letty Brown and those West Virginia Mountaineers. The second half connection is brought to you by AT&T Business, keeping your business connected now with 5G nationwide. Well, this was early in the game. Andrew Parchment, benefit of a nice little bounce, and the Jayhawks took a 10-0 lead in the first quarter, but then everything got calmed down for West Virginia. Letty Brown started getting going. They took the shot down the field that they've desperately wanted to during the course of the season, and Bryce Ford Wheaton, he caught the touchdown pass. Letty Brown led them down the field with his legs and then caught this touchdown pass from Jarrett Dagey. They were up 14-10. And they did a nice job there at the end, tacking on an extra field goal. And like I said, that second quarter, Gus, it was all Mountaineers. 30 plays to 12, 175 yards to 46, and those 10 points. And West Virginia at half, they've got to be disappointed with the things that they need to clean up, like the pre-snap penalties. But overall, they got their run game going. They've got to feel like they've calmed themselves down.
All right, so Kansas ready to receive to start the second half. Jamal Horn, your return man. And kicking it away, Evan Staley. This one will be returned from the 6. It's Horn. Good special teams by the Mountaineers, and that'll bring on the Kansas offense. A die with the tackle on special teams, and Kendrick.
Well, Miles Kendrick, a bit of an up and down first half, but when they did get aggressive, they were rewarded with that touchdown to Andrew Parchment. And Gus, when they were more creative in their play calling and they tried to get the ball outside quicker, the quick screens on the outside, trying to get the ball to Puka Williams on the outside, that's when they found some rhythm. But when they're just handing the ball off between the tackles, their offensive line is not built for that, and the West Virginia defensive front 7 is too good for them to just run the ball down the field between the tackles.
Kendrick 8 of 15, 81 yards passing in the first down. They run it on first down. Puka Williams and Darius Stills, who had that incredible interception in the first half, brings him down.
Puka Williams has got to be a major part of this third quarter and second half in general. And like I said, more creative ways to try to get him the ball. Take a page out of what Clemson does with Travis Etienne.
2nd and 6 after the 4-yard pickup. They swing it out wide, and it's TK Williams who got a shoulder square. He's close to that first down marker.
And that's exactly what you want to do there on second down, is try to present a short yardage third down opportunity, as TK Williams slow to get up there on the far sideline. Looking at that right leg, he is still down. He threw that quick little bubble screen out to the outside. Successful play for them.
Williams Jr. from New Orleans, Louisiana, and went to St. Augustine.
He was a 3-star recruit out of St. Augustine. Did have a little time last year, had 4 catches last year and a touchdown. Just kind of rolled up on there. I always wonder about the ankles, you know, at that spot when those feet get tangled up underneath. And as he gets up here, now Kansas has an opportunity to move the chains.
Third down and 2 at the 29 for KU. They're 1 of 6 on third down conversion. And Puka Williams trying to find some daylight, but will not. And Kansas, interesting play call, Joel, on 3rd and 2. They will not get the first down.
They were trying to get a little misdirection. They brought Luke Grimm, number 80, in on what was kind of a faux jet sweep, right? And trying to hold the backside of the West Virginia defense and create a little seam for Puka Williams. Now, Williams has been nicked up a little bit during the course of this season. Hasn't been 100% healthy, and he limps off there after that third down call, but was just unable to get that first down.
He's listed at 170 pounds, 5'10". Sinkfield is the deep man, end over end kick. And it takes a Kansas roll and is down.
Well, Gus, that Kansas defense, I thought they played pretty well in the first half. This was the first possession. They came out hitting hard. They forced that turnover, created a short field for their defense. Here was a third down in which is incomplete, forced a kick. Missed kick for West Virginia. Another hold. Neil Brown hates it, and he's going to hate this even more. After a turnover for West Virginia, Stills, unbelievable play to get the turnover. It's a 4th down, and West Virginia can't convert, and Kansas holds again. With where the field position was at times for that Mountaineer offense, I felt like they should have scored 24, maybe even 28 points.
And Lenny Brown running it on first down at the 30. Lenny Brown, 14 carries, 90 yards already. It's a gain of 21. Also has a receiving touchdown.
This defense has a sack, a tackle for loss, 9 pass breakups, and a forced fumble. They've been flying around today.
Brown again. Dejon Terry, first man to him. The redshirt freshman out of Meridian, Mississippi.
I think the hard part for the Jayhawk defense is after that, I would say, quality first half. Gus, they're without one of their best players in Denzel Feaster. He was disqualified for targeting, number 18. And they've been banged up a little bit with guys like Kenny Logan has gone down and had to come back. So some backup linebackers in there for the Jayhawks.
3rd down and 4. Big play for Kansas. See if they get off the field. Daggy underneath, caught, and Lenny Brown again. Lenny Brown picks up the first out of the backfield. He's showing his receiving skills. Kyle Mayberry with the tackle.
Nice hands there, right? Coming back across the middle, and guess who's there? And it seems to be those two on every play, right? It's like Lenny Brown, Drew Prox, right?
That's
it's
right.
like number 4, number 40 in the same spot the entire day.
Sinkfield running it, stutter step, and he's tackled for a loss. In the backfield, Elijah Jones with the pressure. Marcus Harris cleans it up.
Good call there by DJ Elliott, the defensive coordinator. He brought Elijah Jones the corner on a corner blitz. He's in the backfield, and they create a negative play. And again, Harris, you've called his name quite a bit today, the young defensive tackle who's wreaking some havoc. Really solid athlete, 270 pounds, one of the bright young stars for this Jayhawk team.
2nd and 11. Daggy wants to let it fly. Beautiful throw and catch. Winston Wright. Daggy hung in there until the very end.
Good time initially, and then the pressure is going to come, and Kansas just loses Wright in coverage. That corner has got to stay out on the outside. There's the pressure late that you saw right in Daggy's face, and that's why he kind of had to float it out there. But a nice play there for West Virginia.
Gain of 17, first down to the 39. Daggy to the sideline. On the move, and another catch. Winston Wright again on the opposite side. Daggy putting that ball on the money.
And that was a long throw all the way to the far side, out route, tight window, and Wright is able to grab it. Coming into today, he had 15 catches, highly productive.
Gain of 16. Here's a screen, intercepted. Watch out. Kansas forces the second turnover. Malcolm Lee with the pick. Daggy threw 2 picks 2 weeks ago against Baylor. Now his first of the day against Kansas.
I mean, incredible play from Lee, and he just drops out. Daggy never saw him. They're trying to set up that little tunnel screen on the outside. Daggy's thinking, where did he come from? Malcolm Lee, INT.
So Malcolm Lee with the interception, the young man from Omaha, Nebraska. 2 today now, takeaways for Kansas.
That's 2 more than they had all year. I mean, this team has struggled as bad as anyone generating takeaways. They only had 8 last year. None coming into this game. We'll get a couple here today.
Here's a sweep around the right side. And it's Puka Williams who lined up as a receiver. They're trying to get him the ball any way they can.
Yeah, and it's just not working out. And the pursuit is really good. Sean Mahone there with the tackle, number 29 for West Virginia. And these, getting behind the chains and behind schedule, this is just not working out for Kansas. And this is where Darius Stills makes his money, per se. These long yardage situations trying to get after the quarterback.
2nd and 10 at the 37. Gardner tried to stiff arm his way through the hole, gets to the 40 before Tony Fields rides him down.
Gosh, I really like Tony Fields' game. He's instinctive, he's fast, 6'1", 220 pounds. The transfer for Arizona really makes this defense, takes it to the next level, I believe. And after those first couple of series, this defense has just not allowed Kansas to do anything offensively.
3rd and 7. Very conservative play calling for Kansas so far. And Kendrick is sacked. That's why. Too much pressure. Jarrett Bartlett and Josh Chandler Tomato.
Good coverage down the field, so that quick throw was not available. Taking away the quick throw is so important. They're able to do that. Good tight coverage on the outside allows the rush to get home, and it got there in a hurry. Great job by Mesidor. A talented freshman got in there quickly.
Kyler Thompson punting again. Barely gets this one away. Sinkfield stays away from the ball, and it will be down inside the West Virginia 25. 8:32 to go, 3rd quarter. 7-point game. Here come the Mountaineers on O. Right after this. Tell Siri, show me the college football schedule. All right. Let's take a look at our offensive leaders.
Well, Daggy has struggled a bit today, 16 of 31, but the workhorse, as has been the case over the last couple of weeks, has been Letty Brown. 20 touches, 130 yards, and a touchdown. He's been sensational today.
First down to the 23 for the Mountaineers. Daggy, quick throw, and he finds his tight end, O'Loughlin. Michael Laughlin gets out of bounds. Interesting formation.
Now they're trying to get a little creative because they're trying to take some touches away from Letty Brown. You can't keep giving him the ball 25, 26, 27 times a game.
8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Here's the reverse. Right. And he'll get across the 40. Karan Prunty defensively for Kansas.
And Wright's been stepping up over the last couple of series here. Made a couple of nice catches on the previous series and a good little sweep there.
First down to the 41. Daggy steps, and he'll just wing this one right out of bounds over the head of Wright.
They were trying to take a shot down the field. That was the exact same action that they just gave Kansas with that little sweep to right. They tried to bring it the opposite side, get a safety to bite down and take a shot down the field. Credit Kansas for staying home there in the secondary as we've got a Jayhawk down.
Drew Prox.
He's been terrific today all over the field and trying to contain Letty Brown. Wherever Letty Brown has gone, Drew Prox has followed.
Drew Prox being looked at. We'll step away. Back after this. Sponsored by Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville. Spirited crowd. The ones allowed to attend today in Morgantown. 7-point game.
They had basically no crowd in their first couple of home games, and so this is the first time that they've allowed the percentage in, about 15,000 in here.
And Letty Brown running on 2nd and 10. Kenny Logan as well as Nick Channel sticking their nose in it. Flag on the play.
After the play is over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 10, offense, pulled a player off the pile. The down will count, 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Sean Ryan.
And more self-inflicted wounds for West Virginia. Can't get out of their own way. You know, it's you just can't do that. You can't pull guys up off the pile. He's trying to do it with 2 different Jayhawks. Easy call for the official who's standing right there. You just got to let everyone get off the pile themselves.
So that makes it 3rd down and 25 from the 26. Letty Brown. And he will not have enough for the first. Another well-defended series by this Kansas defense. Gavin Potter with the tackle.
Yeah, and this defense, they've given up a couple of plays here and there, and Letty has gotten loose on some runs, but you got to give them a lot of credit. They continue to fly around. Prox came back up on the field after being looked at. He missed last week against Oklahoma State. And after Oklahoma State ran for 295 yards on these guys, they have come out here. I think they've played well. They're the reason Kansas is still in this game.
Kwame Lassiter, the deep man. As McGee pops it high in the air. And is fair caught at the 25. 6:40 to go, 3rd quarter. Kansas.
When he remembers how many downs that they've played.
1st and 10 at the 24. Kendrick rolling out of the pocket and delivers. Nice strike. Parchment gets upfield. And Parchment is a terrific receiver, Joel.
He is. He's highly productive. Last year was very productive for them. He was an honorable mention All Big 12 player. 65 catches, over 830 yards, 7 touchdowns in 12 starts.
Preseason all first team All Big 12 this year.
And they just haven't gotten him in rhythm in large part, Gus, because they haven't provided enough time with that offensive line and the quarterback.
And they'll run it with Gardner, trying to get through the hole and pick up a first. Pushes the pile forward, and he should have it.
That type of play sequence is key, okay? So for Brent Dearman, their offensive coordinator, Kansas is not going to be able to just hand the football off on 1st down. So what do you do on 1st down? You got to get a little creative. Get the ball outside. Get Parchment involved. Get Stephon Robinson involved. Get Puka Williams the ball outside and create a 2nd and manageable. Stay on schedule. At that point, then you can start to run the football. But if you get into a position where you're in an obvious passing situation, you're inviting this very quality and fast athletic defensive line to wreak havoc on your quarterback.
Jayhawks pick up a 1st down. Kendrick sliding. And And not sure if that's a complete ball, but if it is, it's a completion for a loss to Stephen McBride.
Going on the field, completed pass, second down.
Man, that was near side, folks, and Treshaun Miller just got away with pulling Andrew Parchment to the ground. There's no reason that should go uncalled. No reason. I don't care if the quarterback's looking the other way or not. You can't just grab a wide receiver and throw him down to the ground.
Second down and 10. Kendrick, another short pass high this time for Lassiter.
Here's that situation now where West Virginia has been so good. Kansas just does not provide enough time for their quarterback, and there he is, Darius Stills, the reigning Bednarik National Player, Defensive Player of the Week. He already has an INT in this game. He's gotten close to a couple of sacks. We'll see if he can get loose.
His brother Dante right next to him, number 55.
False start, number 76. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Offense all out of sorts. Les Miles not here for the Kansas Jayhawks, their head coach. They're starting their third quarterback in the course of this season. Tough for Josh Ergel. And they've played a bit sloppy at times, and to be honest, understandably so, with those 9 penalties.
3rd and 15. Low snap, handled by Kendrick. Running around. Dumps it off, and not much. What a tackle by Chandler Semedo. And the Jayhawks will have to punt it away.
Big hit from Chandler Semedo. He was an honorable mention All Big 12 player a year ago, and he just stayed home, kind of drops off his deeper route, and he's right there as they're trying to dump the ball to Felton Gardner.
Sink field allows it to bounce, and it will die at the 4-yard line. 4:25 to play, third quarter. Back after this. And welcome back. Gus Johnson, Joel Klatt with you. 17-10. West Virginia leading Kansas, but West Virginia's going to have to play with the long field once again.
And what happened in the first quarter, Gus? It was the Kansas defense that created offense by creating a short field for their offense. Listen, Kansas' offense has just not moved from the football today. So this defense is going to have to do something, create a play to create a short field or a score themselves.
First down at the 4. Dagey throwing out of the end zone, down the field, and incomplete. Sam James, who dropped 3 passes in the first half, the intended receiver.
This West Virginia offense just hasn't been able to do much at all outside of running the football with Letty Brown. He's got 108 yards, 6.5 per carry. But Dagey has struggled throwing the football. They've struggled getting separation and catching it consistently with their wide receivers. This is a great opportunity for Kansas here to create a short field for their offense.
Dagey throws it underneath. It's caught. Ford Wheat.
It's exactly what West Virginia needed. A nice, easy completion. You get themselves a bit of room, and now 4 comes in the game. And what do you bet we're going to get a healthy dose of Letty Brown right here?
On 3rd down and 1. Letty Brown, 17 carries, 108 yards rushing. They'll give it to him for the first down and more. Letty Brown, baddest man in Morgantown. Touchdown, Mountaineers. Just what the doctor ordered for the Mountaineers. Letty Brown
What a beautiful job up front by the offensive line. You're going to get a down block, and then this hook right here by the right guard. That's an excellent job. It's actually the right tackle John Hughes, 79. That's the key block. And once he broke contain, well, there was nobody left. He could have run all throughout Morgantown on that one.
87 yards. Extra point, good.
Great job up front, but man, Letty Brown is doing it all for the Mountaineers. That dude can play. West Virginia fans, you got a dude in your backfield.
Yeah. The junkyard dog, Letty Brown, 87-yard touchdown.
Man,
for West Virginia.
I got to tell you, man, you know, he's shared the workload in the past with guys like Kennedy McCoy, Martell Pettaway, who transferred away. And it was clearly going to be his year, right, to be the focal point of this offense. And he has done a marvelous job. Gets the tough yards. They can throw it to him. Then, guess what he showed right there? He can hit the home run and go the distance. What a day, man.
Letty Brown, 18 carries, 195 yards. And a touchdown, both rushing and receiving. Now Kansas with pressure. They have to pick it up. 3:37 to go in the third. Horn. And Horn. So let's take a look what Letty Brown has done today.
Yeah, and this offensive line has been pretty good for him, but boy, it's been tough running. The ability to get to the outside shows some speed. He's running well between the tackles. He's running well on the outside. He's really been a quality receiver for Jarrett Dickey outside of the backfield on design pass plays, that little swing screen, and there he gets one guy on the ground, and he's gone. Goes the distance for the big touchdown, and he has been everything to them. It's been Letty Brown and the West Virginia defense, and Gus, that's exactly what was the case in their last win against Baylor. That overtime win, it was the defense that carried them, and it was Letty Brown that carried them.
Booker Williams would love to get some openings like Letty Brown, but West Virginia's defense will not have it. Tyke Smith again.
There he is, Tyke Smith, such a smart player. He can play up near the line of scrimmage. He can play deep in coverage. He's had a heck of an impact on this game. He was a freshman All-American last year, Gus, and the coaching staff telling us he's just scratching the surface of how good he can be. And like I said, his best attribute is how smart he is. Diagnosing formations, everything going on the offensive side.
Kendrick again bottled up and sacked by Akeem Mesidor. Mesidor has had sacks in back-to-back weeks. Remember, this kid is a true freshman. 6'2", 268 from Ottawa, Canada.
Think about how well this defense is playing now, a couple of weeks, and they have improved so much since a year ago in Neil Brown's first year. Their points per game, they're second in the Big 12, 8th last year. Total yards, they're the #1 defense in the league against the pass, #1 defense in the league. They have improved, and we're seeing that here today. They're tough, they're physical, they're fast, athletic, young. Gus, I love what I'm seeing.
3rd down and 18. Kendricks bobbles the snap and sacked again by Akeem Mesidor. Back-to-back sacks by Prince Akeem.
And there you have it. You mess around as a young player, you do something great with Gus Johnson on the call, you're going to get a nickname, and Prince Akeem with his 2nd sack of the series. Look how active he is, continuing to work towards the quarterback, a guy that they say works hard in practice, loves football, and there he is in the quarterback's lap again.
Jayhawks punting out of their own end zone. Sink field, lets it bounce in front and out of bounds at midfield. Now Monday afternoon on Fox is a special edition of the NFL on Fox as the Chiefs and the Bills make up their rescheduled game from Thursday night. It all starts Monday at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific Eastern on Fox NFL Network and streaming on Amazon Prime. And did I read it right that Le'Veon Bell is headed to Kansas City?
I saw that too, and I was like, oh no.
The rich keep getting richer.
They lose one game to the Vegas Raiders.
One game.
And they're bringing in Le'Veon Bell.
That's just so unfair.
And especially with his versatility, right? Listen, I know he's not what he used to be, right? Or all things considered.
Well, he was playing for the Jets, so you don't know.
He was playing for the Jets. But think about the creativity of a guy like Eric Bieniemy, their offensive coordinator, now gets to utilize him in that offense. Man, sky's the limit there.
We certainly should be talking about Bieniemy as a head coach in the NFL. Now it's Ford Wheaton. And this is the West Virginia team we expected to see coming into this game. They got off to a very sluggish start, but now they're starting to fire on all cylinders.
And there's really only two elements of this team that I think are missing right now. The defense has played well most of the season. Letty Brown has been special most of the season. It's been the passing game, trying to find consistency. And Gus, it's been the pre-snap penalties, you know, shooting themselves in the foot, if you will. The self-inflicted wounds as another Jayhawk player is down. Boy, there's been a lot of Jayhawks down, air quotations, after big plays for West Virginia today.
Caleb Sampson gets up.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
Not at all. I just think that for Coach Miles, with the philosophy that they have this year, it's going to take them some time to develop these young players, especially their bodies.
Yeah.
That's why you don't go from high school to the National Football League. You got to develop.
That's exactly right.
Daggy. That one high, but caught by Wright. And he'll get close to the Kansas 10.
And this defense just running out of steam a little bit. They've played hard. They've played really well. But now you're starting to see some of that rhythm that West Virginia and head coach Neil Brown was wanting to see early in the game out of the passing game. And Jared Daggy, you know, he hasn't been great today. Daggy, 21 of 38. Missed some common throws that you would want to see more consistency out of. But here he's starting to play a little bit better.
Daggy surveying, looking, buying time. Now runs it and goes down. Davon Ferguson brings him down.
Good play there by Davon Ferguson and good coverage down the field. This Kansas defense, we have seen them bow their neck a little bit, bend, don't break, and we'll see if they can continue to do that here as we move to the fourth quarter.
End of the third. West Virginia up big, knocking on the door. Is sponsored by AT&T Business. West Virginia trying to blow the doors open on this as we start the fourth quarter, 24-10. 2nd and 7 at the 8-yard line for Daggy. And he looks, fires out wide, and finally Sam James held on to one. And he scores a touchdown. He's had problems securing catches in this game, but not this time.
Beautiful little motion. Gus, watch as James, who, like you said, has struggled with drops, he's going to come in, and then he's going to send him right back out on the little screen route. There he goes in, the fake to the right side. Now they drop him out on the left side, a little lead blocker, and he's able to corral it and get into the end zone. Good design there for West Virginia.
Third touchdown pass of the game for Daggy. Staley, extra point is good. And West Virginia taking a 31-10 lead as we start the fourth quarter.
In a position to win. In a position to go. In a position to win. In a position to go. In a position to win. In a position to go. About that action. About that action. Let's get active.
Crowd here in West Virginia. Different kind of body surf than we're normally accustomed to see.
Yeah, you know, 2020, I'm just going to let it go. It's first and 10. I don't know what to say.
You're doing great, partner. You will remember these days. We all will.
There's no doubt.
But we are watching football, and that's all that matters. 31-10. There is no spoon. That one kicked out of the end zone.
Oh, man. Tell you what. A lot of credit to this defense at West Virginia. After those opening two series, Kansas now 0 points in their last 10 drives. They're only 1 of 9 on 3rd down, and you got to give a lot of credit to their co-defensive coordinators. Jordan Leslie, who's the defensive line coach, and Jamal Adai, who is the corners coach. They kind of tandem for this defensive staff, calling the front, and then Jamal Adai will call the coverage in the back end, and they've been terrific today after those first 2 series.
1st and 10 of the 25. Kendrick out wide, and this is caught. Tyke Smith, though, I tell you, another great tackle on Puka Williams.
See, Gus, I think great defenses have great players at every level, and you're starting to see that with West Virginia. You've got Darius Stills, clearly a great player. Akeem Mesidor coming into his own. Those are guys up front. Tony Fields, a terrific linebacker. And then in the back end, you've got guys like Alonzo Adai, the safety, Tyke Smith, the spear player. These guys are really good. This is a defense that is going to be tough to score on as they go through this Big 12 schedule, and they're proving that out over the last couple of games.
They'll run it. Gardner. You know, and he's tackled by Dante Stills.
Remember, that Baylor game, everyone's going to look and say, okay, they wanted an OT 27-21. But they didn't allow Baylor. I mean, Baylor had scored 7 points going into the last 2 minutes of the game. You know, this defense was terrific, and they're doing the same thing today. This team is built right now on defense and running the football with Letty Brown, and this defense has been absolutely dominant today.
3rd down and 14 at the 21. Kendrick going the whole way for Kansas. And he hadn't had a lot of time, not a lot to work with. Jeffrey Pooler chops him down for a loss, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And the guy forcing him out of the pocket was 56, Darius Stills. Came around on a little stunt. He looped around. Miles Kendrick had to leave the pocket, and there's Jeffrey Pooler, the 5th-year senior from Dayton, Ohio, was able to get him on the ground. Great play from this defense. I've been so impressed with the way they fly around, they tackle in space. They've done a great job.
Thornton punting from his own 5. Alex Sinkfield, the deep man. Around the 40, Sinkfield. Oh, and he gets roughed up and wrapped up immediately on special teams by Ryan Malbrough. Coming up, we'll tell you a little bit about these 2 guys, the Stills brothers. Dad was pretty good this day. So are his boys. Big Note Saturday is sponsored by Pacific Life. More than 150 years strong. Trust in your tomorrow. 31-10, West Virginia leading Kansas. Remember, Kansas in the first quarter led this game 10-0, but since then, West Virginia has scored 31 unanswered points. So the Mountaineers, 1st down and 10 at the 35. Daggy, 22 of 39, 259, 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception. Here's Daggy to throw it. Late over the middle, and it's a catch by Reese Smith and a 1st down.
I was excited to see Reese Smith. He's a guy, he's a freshman for them that they're excited about. Were his arms under there? That's going to be close. I don't know if he secured that when that ball was hitting the ground. I would expect them to review that.
And they get the playoff instead. Running it with Sinkfield. Dave Bob Ferguson defensively.
21-point lead. Folks, it does affect how they would stop the play or not, you know, so they let it roll there. Sinkfield's probably going to get line share of the work here in the 4th quarter so that they can
rest Letty Brown.
Yeah, keep Letty Brown healthy. Again, 18 carries, Gus, 195 yards, 10.8 per carry, and a touchdown. So Sinkfield will surely get a bunch of touches here in this 4th quarter.
West Virginia at Texas Tech next week. 2nd and 7. Daggy. And he's got Sinkfield. And Sinkfield, nice open field tackle by Dave Ferguson. I think this Kansas team has some parts that are going to really mature for him down the road.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the defense has done a decent job, all things considered. Their offense needs a lot of work. Their offensive line not up to par. Their quarterback situation right now, it's troublesome. You know, starting their third guy during the course of this season in Miles Kendrick. So there's some things to fix on that offensive side, certainly.
Nagy delivers down the sideline and incomplete. Reese Smith just couldn't hang on. Kyle Mayberry in coverage for Kansas.
Good coverage there from Mayberry. He did not play last week, so he's back in the action for them and provided some tight coverage there on Reese Smith, who just couldn't haul it in. Had a shot. It just comes out of his hands. Smith is from Danville, Kentucky. Went to Boyle County High School, same as his head coach Neil Brown, and broke a lot of Neil's wide receiver records at that high school. So an affinity there of his head coach and what he was able to do at the high school level.
Lassiter signals for the fair catch and has it. 10:53 to play in the fourth. Kansas with the football after this.
Here's the Pacific Life game summary, sponsored by Pacific Life. More than 150 years strong. Trust in your tomorrow. Early in this game, Kansas jumped out to a quick lead. It was 10-0, and then it's been all West Virginia since. A heavy dose of Letty Brown and that defense, and more specifically that defensive front seven. They have been all over Miles Kendrick. That Kansas offense has done absolutely nothing in this second half, and really since the second quarter.
First down and 10 at the 14. Gardner, very creative running for Felton Gardner, finally taken down by Sean Mahone, and he gains 4.
You know, this is the start of a 5 consecutive game stretch, Gus, for West Virginia. And I was asking, you know, we saw West Virginia last year before, or when they played Oklahoma. Tough ask. I mean, that Oklahoma team was very good. Neil Brown had a young team. They had lost a lot off that previous year's team that was a pretty good team under Dana Holgorsen.
Kendrick throws down the field. And incomplete. No flags on the play. Kwame Lassiter, the target.
And so I asked Coach Brown this week, I said, give me a sense of how it's going. Where is the process at right now with West Virginia? What you're trying to build here, as he is now in his second year from Troy. And he said, listen, the process is really close, and these next 5 games will be the evaluation of how far we've come. And so far in the back half of this game, you know, they've played incredibly well.
3rd and 6. Kendrick duns it. And incomplete. Oh, they're going to call it a catch at the 25. And that's Parchment. And it's a first down for the Jayhawks.
Looked like when he reached for the first down, Gus, is when the ball actually came out. So there's the control, and then he reaches back. Tough to say, but give him the first down nonetheless.
And the quarterback decides to keep it. Miles Kendrick.
If they're going to run the football effectively inside of the tackles, speaking of Kansas, they have to incorporate that quarterback run more often. Kendrick has to be a threat, or whoever their quarterback is moving forward, whether it's the freshman, Jalen Daniels, the senior, Thomas McVitie. They've got to incorporate that quarterback run threat because the defense is just too aggressive towards wherever the running back goes.
2nd down and 5. Kendrick rolling, looking. And finally, just goes down. Tony Fields tracks him down. Secondary for Mountaineers doing a fine job.
They sure are. And this is a defense that I think could be one of, at the end of the year, you look up, be one of the better defenses in all of the Big 12 statistically. Came into today, giving up only 19 points a game.
14th in the nation.
2nd in the Big 12. And they've done nothing but prove to me today that they can continue to be dominant at the defensive line spot. They cover well and tackle well in space.
7th ranked total defense in the country. West Virginia, 3rd down and 2. And Kansas, it's the Stills brother. Darius Stills, Dante Stills combining on the tackle.
This is one of those definitions of insanity for me. Watching a play call like that on 3rd and short. There is nothing, whether it's on film all year or today, that would suggest that you can get in the shotgun and just hand the football off up the middle if you're Kansas and get that 1st down. So why call that play?
Got a good point, partner. Kyle Thompson will kick it away to Sinkfield. Sinkfield from the 25, tiptoeing. He goes down at the 35. 7:38 to play, 4th quarter. West Virginia with the football. They belong at the top of college football. It's all here on Fox's Big Noon Kickoff at 10 a.m. Eastern.
How about the leadership of Justin Fields? Not just for his program, but for college football, for the Big Ten Conference. He and Trevor Lawrence, I have the utmost respect for what they were able to do in this offseason.
Sure did. Sinkfield running. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedules for these two teams.
Well, for West Virginia, you see that slate. They got 5 in a row. They got Texas Tech next. Jayhawks got a tough one against Kansas State. But that Texas Tech game, it's interesting because that's where Neil Brown has some Big 12 roots. He was, of course, an assistant coach at Texas Tech for 3 seasons under Tommy Tuberville from 2010 to 2012. And it's where he developed a relationship with the Dagey family.
31-10, our score, and Sinkfield running it again.
You know, it's interesting because Seth Dagey, who you talked about earlier, who is now an assistant coach at USC with Graham Harrell. There's Seth, and there's Neil Brown on the right. You know, before Neil rose to prominence and started getting coordinator and head coach job there at Troy. And that relationship that he established with Seth was a big reason why Jarrett decided to come and play for Neil Brown at West Virginia. And you know what's fascinating? It's the game that really cemented that relationship between Neil Brown and the Dagey family was when Seth Dagey threw for 1,000,000 yards on a top 10 West Virginia team.
Wow. How about Reese Smith? Gaining a big chunk of yardage here. And a 1st down. Mayberry finally brings him down.
And there he goes. Reese Smith talked about his potential on the last series. They're looking for someone to be a reliable receiver in the slot. We've seen the drops from Sam James today. They need somebody. This offense is predicated on having somebody that's very reliable, quick in short spaces, and can produce 1st downs from the slot. Maybe Reese Smith can turn into that guy. That was certainly a beautiful catch and run for a 1st down there.
Gain of 39.
Mike 40, I'll drill. Mike 40, I'll drill.
Stay on the ground with Sinkfield. He gets to the edge. And it's chopped down. Nice tackle in open field by Ricky Thomas, the safety.
This 4th quarter, I think, has been very important because, Gus, it's forcing this offense to move down the field without Letty Brown. So, yeah, it's 31-10. Everyone's like, oh, okay, we did great. These snaps are really important because it's forcing Jarrett Dagey, the offensive line, the wide receiver. They're the ones that have to make it. They can't just look over and be like, hey, Letty will bail us out here. And so these are important snaps for West Virginia for the development of their team on the offensive side to gain some confidence if number 4 is not available.
Sinkfield. I tell you, when number 4 was available, he did a lot of good things out there. Letty Brown, 18 carries, 195 yards with a long of 87. He also had a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, Letty Brown. 5 catches, 36 yards.
But remember, in a year in which you have no idea week to week who could be available or who could not be available. It's very important to develop balance offensively. And again, that's why these snaps in the fourth quarter are so vital.
3rd and 2. Sinkfield looking for the first. Potter with the tackle.
West Virginia also has a new play caller in Jared Parker. He came from Penn State. He was a wide receiver coach at Penn State, and he crossed paths with Neil Brown when they were both wide receivers at Kentucky for a year, of course under Hal Mumme and Mike Leach, which is where they first got exposed to this air raid system. This is not traditional air raid like so many of those air raid disciples. They've added and mixed and matched to other spread concepts and principles.
4th down and 1. West Virginia going for it. And Sinkfield, I don't know. A forward lean may have gotten it for him at the end.
Boy, it was close, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And it's a first down, though.
Good second effort there from Sinkfield. Alex, the change of pace back. He's never going to get the number of carries that a healthy Letty Brown would get. But if they can get him those 10 to 15 touches / carries, then they're going to feel like they're in good rhythm. He's probably a little bit more dynamic in space, although Letty Brown is certainly a quality player in space as well. But Alex Sinkfield provides that burst.
Daggy dropping it off. And it's his tight end, T.J. Banks. 6'5", 250. Kenny Logan with the tackle.
Well, Daggy has settled down in the second half, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
That's exactly
very solid in the second half.
That's what they needed from him. Again, here's what the coaches said. We need him to make the common play consistently. And you've seen that more in the second half than we saw, in particular in that second quarter when they were having to rely so heavily on Letty Brown in the run game.
2nd down and 2 at the 3. Handoff, Sinkfield, touchdown, West Virginia. And Letty Brown's happy for his running back mate.
Good friends, good teammates. Watch this little cut. He's going to go this way, and then he's going to cut back as Drew Prox goes to the left. Watch 40. He goes to the left. He sets him up. Boom, just a little jump cut. Then he finds the seam and gets to the end zone. Beautiful run.
Actually, a very beautiful drive for West Virginia. They really put it together on that series. The Mountaineers pay it off. Alec Sinkfield with the touchdown. .38-10. I don't know what to say about this picture here.
No, Mom, everything's going great. I'm just at a coffee shop studying.
Exactly. Just drinking my latte. 2 minutes ago in the fourth quarter, 38-10. West Virginia.
No, I didn't come to the game today. Oh, boy.
West Virginia will pick up their second win in Big 12 play. Kansas trying to figure out how to win their first game of the season. And here come the Jayhawks, Puka Williams. Very good run at midfield. Down the sideline. Burst of speed. Continues to go and touchdown. Wow, Puka Williams runs one back. 91 yards.
Man, he looked like he was bottled up a couple of different times. And then it was just straight speed to get to the edge. Catches it right about the 8. And then right here, I felt like, oh, they got him corralled. There's a couple of tackles. He breaks, and now the speed. He turns it on, and Gus, everybody's got the angle on him, and no one can catch him. Great job right there. Some strength of breaking the tackles, and then here's some real speed. Boom, ball in the left hand. Beautifully done. Down the rail. Touchdown. Kansas, man, he is electric. That's why I'm saying get him the ball in more creative ways.
You're absolutely right. And the extra point is good. 1:45 to go in the fourth. Kansas still fighting. Puka Williams leading the way on the 91-yard return. Puka Williams with his first career return touchdown, going 91 yards to make it a 38-17 game.
I know that there is a proud guy still back in Lawrence. Jonathan Wallace, the special teams coach, is not with the Jayhawks today. Not COVID related. He and his wife Ashley had their first child, and Les Miles told him, stay home. This is too important. You want to be there for the birth of your first child. Ashley played soccer at Auburn, then for the Mexico national team. This is their first child, and Les Miles told me, you be sure, Joel, that you offer that child a scholarship as the earliest offer in the history of college athletics. Boy or girl, you can come to Kansas, you can play whatever you want to play. The Jayhawks want you. Congratulations.
Nice.
To Jonathan and Ashley on the birth of their first child.
Nice. 38-17, 1:45 to go in the fourth. I'm sure everybody at Kansas is looking forward to Coach Miles returning to the team.
He'll be returning again. He was out of the 10-day window, but that 10-day window from the CDC guidelines fell yesterday, on the day that he would have had to get on a plane with the team and travel with them, and he just felt like, out of an abundance of caution, that he should not be on the field or with the team traveling this week. So Josh Erdman took over. Ergel, excuse me, took over and handled the head coaching duties today.
Tabor Allen, see if he'll kick it away or maybe try an onside kick with 1:45 to go. It's a short kick in space, and West Virginia hustles back and picks it up inside the 20.
Boy, it's gonna look at the end of this game like Kansas scored 17 on West Virginia's defense. And this was, by the way, a beautiful little kick, and West Virginia had to work hard to go back and recover this, which they did. But these 17 points they're really not on the defense. I mean, the defense is now, I mean, obviously the return, that goes without saying. But even think about the short fields that the offense kind of put them, their backs against the wall early in this game. I think the defense played much better than the 17-point is going to dictate.
So Daggy and the Mountaineers deciding to run the football, and a flag on the play.
Offside, number 14, defense. That penalty's declined. Second down.
Give Avarius Sparrow a little run at running back, number 22. He's a freshman from Orlando. Let's see what he can do. This is the third guy behind Letty Brown and Alex Sinkfield. Trying to run this clock out.
Second and 4, ball at the 20.
Second down and 4. Sparrow across the line of scrimmage, stood up and driven backwards.
See what happened around college football today?
What happened?
Kentucky hammered Tennessee.
Kentucky's defense is pretty good, right?
They're very good. They were the second-ranked passing defense in the country. They've got, I think it's 9 interceptions in the last couple of games. They had a couple taken back for a touchdown against Tennessee, but that game was in Knoxville, and Mark Stoops' bunch went in there and just handled Tennessee. And remember a couple of weeks ago, the pounding on the chest of Vol Twitter and Vol Nation out there about how Tennessee was back because they had been beating up on the dregs of the SEC, and then they started playing people with the pulse and just got throttled.
Sparrow looks like a first down, if not very close. Kind of hard on the Tennessee Volunteers there, their fan base there. A little hard there, wouldn't you say?
We have we go back. we go back a ways.
You guys are in a relationship.
Yeah, we are. Punt and rely on your defense. Clemson. Wow. They scored $1 million on the road against Georgia Tech.
But more importantly for West Virginia, the Mountaineers do what they were supposed to do.
That's right. At least for 3 quarters.
They start the season 3-1. Neil Brown has to be pleased, especially with the second half play of his quarterback.
Jarrett Dagey started making some of those common plays more consistently as this game went along, but they have got a great running back and a great defense in Morgantown.
Coming up after the break, we'll get you out to our NASCAR race day coverage.